Hello, everyone. We are live for the second time. I forgot to turn on my mic the first time, so I've had to restart this live. Welcome in, everyone, to this live stream. And today we're going to be talking all about how you can build a profitable and sustainable business as a content creator or influencer. And I'm just reviewing notes, and this is going to be more masterclass style / workshop. So I'm going in with this one. I really want to get in depth with how you can go about building your creative empire. So if you need to go away, get a notepad, get a beverage, and yeah, let's hang out for the next hour or so. I've got my favorite beverage here, which I wanted to show you actually because I am obsessed with these teas right now. It is the Twinings turmeric tea with orange and star anise. Beautiful. I am obsessed. So yeah, go grab yourself a beverage and also a notepad because we have got a lot to go through today. I'm going to be breaking it down. I'm going to be breaking it down. So if you are watching on the live, make sure you drop me a comment in the chat because I can't actually see who is on here. So drop me a comment and also let me know if the sound is good. That would be really helpful as well. I know there was a few issues yesterday, so let me know if the sound is good. And yeah, we are going to dive straight in. But before we do so, if this is the first time you are coming across myself, welcome to the family. Welcome to the channel. My name is Montelle, and I am a lifestyle content creator and also a business mentor for content creators and influencers who are wanting to transition into digital business owners. So, hey. So we've got D. Balonen Mama. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome. We've got Ellie, I believe. I hope I pronounced that right. Welcome. And we've also got Freddie. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm so excited to have you all here today. So, yeah, back to introduction. My name is Montelle, and I am a business mentor for creative entrepreneurs who are wanting to transition into digital business owners. So, this live is actually a celebration live because I am going to be enrolling for my program for November's enrollment. So I'm going to speak a bit more about my program towards the end of this live. But yeah, the Businessfluencer Program is back. It's a 6-month mentorship program for creatives and content creators and influencers who are wanting to take that big transition into digital entrepreneurship and creative freedom and lifestyle freedom, all of that good stuff. But we're going to dive into that in a lot more detail within this training. And I've pretty much just taken a module from my program and I'm giving it to you today absolutely free because I want you to at least have the basics for you to know that this is possible for you to see the opportunities that are available to you and for you to get some inspiration, get an idea on exactly how you can also transition into a creative entrepreneur. And yeah, excited for all of that good stuff. Let me know where you are in the world as well. I am absolutely loving YouTube Live. So many of you from all over are finding me in these lives, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I guess let's start with, let me just get my program up because like I say, I'm literally just taking a workbook from my program and I'm giving it to you today as a workshop. So this is what you are going to get if you do decide to enroll within the program, which I will speak to you about towards the end of this live. So when it comes to creating a digital business or a brand, I predominantly work with content creators and influencers who are wanting to build a brand. And the reason why it's important for me to work with content creators and influencers is because I am one myself. And I have opened so many possibilities for myself by building an online business. And I know that a lot of content creators and influencers believe that the only way that they can work that they can build a business is through brand partnerships, brand sponsorships, working with brands in some capacity, and it's just not the case. And I knew for myself, if I'm wanting to build a sustainable business, I have to be seeking of other opportunities, I have to build something that's sustainable for me. So when I'm coaching my clients, I'm really helping them to build their own online empire through digital products, services, courses, consulting, offering some type of service, because that is how you are not only going to become more profitable, but you're also going to be building a sustainable business, and you're also going to see success a lot quicker as well. Now, on top of that, yes, you can be doing the brand partnerships. Yes, you can be doing the sponsorships, etc. But you also want to be building your own digital empire, your own digital presence based on your expertise and your skills and your knowledge. If not, then yes, working with brands is cool, but ultimately, you're still employed in some sense. Yes, you are working for yourself, and yes, you're working with incredible brands, but if you're solely relying on brand deals and partnerships and sponsorships, then you're relying on somebody else. And I don't know about you, but that's what I was trying to move away from. That's why I took that leap into entrepreneurship and building my own business, because I didn't always want to have to depend on somebody else's decisions. I wanted to be the one in charge of my own freedom, of my own financial situation. I wanted to take charge of that so I can live life truly on my terms. And I know a lot of you want the same as well, because as I keep saying, brand deals is amazing, but it's not always going to be on your terms. So you want to have something that accompanies that is yours, you have the control over, and the possibilities are really endless. Okay, so we've got Freddie from Nigeria. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Daily Note says, have I missed a lot? Absolutely not. I've just got started. I started around 5 minutes ago, and I was just kind of doing the introduction, explaining a bit about myself, what I do, and also why it is so important for creators to be building their own digital assets. And in this training, I'm going to be going into more depth into the types of digital assets that you can build right now with your current skill set, with your knowledge. Nothing else is required. You can get started right now, and you can really build a profitable brand immediately. So yeah, that is a bit about why I am just so keen on content creators building their own digital assets, building their empire, so you can have more freedom, more flexibility, and sustainability with your business as well. Because if you are relying on external sources for your income, then you're not always going to be in control, and you don't know what the future can hold. So, the best way for you to set yourself up for success right now is to start building your own digital business, which is, yes, going to be based around content creation and based around your influence. But once you build a brand around yourself, no one can take that away from you. That is your brand. And I don't know about you, but what is better than creating a brand around yourself, around what your passions, your skills, your expertise? That's when it no longer feels like work. That's when it becomes fun and freeing and fulfilling and impactful, when you know it's something that you are passionate about. It's you, your personality. That's what people are paying for, your energy, and of course your skills and expertise. So yeah, let's get stuck in. As I say, this is more of a workshop style. There's a lot of questions, so you can either write down the questions as I'm going along, or you can answer them as I'm going along, depending on what suits you right now. But this is a process that I would go through with my clients. So when you join the Bizfluencer program, we're first going to be looking at all of these steps, and this is going to give you the roadmap you need in order to be successful with your business and your brand. And then once you've got that roadmap, you've got that skeleton of what your brand and your business is going to entail, we can then take it to the next step and really start building success and profitability. Apologies, outside is going a bit crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully that's not too loud. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, the formula that I personally use when it comes to building a successful business as a content creator or influencer is my signature build framework. So, this is a framework that I have created myself and reinvented, and it's gone through a few iterations here and there. So, I use both of them. So, build is an acronym, and It used to be one acronym and I've recently changed it and I've refined it. However, I still like to go back to the older version because it's still very necessary. And like I say, if you do join the Businessfluencer program, you will get more insight into both of these methods. So the first step of the build framework is becoming the visionary. So, in order for you to be successful as a bizfluencer, and bizfluencer basically means an influencer who is also a business owner. That's what I like to call them. So, as a bizfluencer, the first step for you is really going to become the visionary. So, you have to feel into your brand. You have to feel into the vision that you have for your brand. If you don't do this, then you are not going to have the clarity that you need to move forward. And when it comes to success in business and becoming profitable, you really want to have that clarity. Nandi says, will this be available later? Yep, absolutely. I will be saving this on my channel, so you can definitely check out the replay. So, a lack of clarity brings a lack of confidence. And if you have a lack of confidence, that is going to bring inaction. So if you have found that you've wanted to start a business or a brand for so long, you've had the idea, but you just haven't taken the action, this could be why. It's because you haven't stepped up into that visionary role. You haven't dreamed the brand, you haven't seen it possible for you. So that's the reason why you haven't taken the necessary steps. So what I want you to do right now is think about what are your 3 major brand goals that you want to achieve in the next 90 days. So within the next 3 months, what would you love to achieve? Maybe you haven't got started with your brand or your business yet, and maybe the major goal that you want to achieve is just creating a plan for what the brand is going to be. Maybe the next step, once you've done that, is going to be choosing what platform you want to show up on and the type of content you want to create. And then maybe the third major goal for you is just getting started, creating a few pieces of content. That could be 3 major goals that is going to steer you on the right direction. If you have been in business for some time, or maybe you've built a brand as an influencer, but you now want to transition into a business owner, maybe the 3 major brand goals that you need to set is marking out what your service is going to be. What exactly are you going to be offering? What product are you going to sell? What service are you going to offer? That could be one goal. The second major goal is announcing the transition. So you could be announcing to your audience that you're now going to be offering services, or you're now going to be offering a course or programs, something like that. And then the third major goal could be signing your first client. So unless you really get specific on what these goals are going to be, you'll find yourself constantly going round on a loophole, not taking action. You're going to have all of these thoughts of all of the things that you want to do, all of the dreams and aspirations. But until you create a goal, until you create a plan and until you write these goals down, you're not going to get anywhere. So that is the first thing I want to do. Focus on 3 major goals for your brand over the next 90 days. And then once you've written down those goals, what you want to then do is ask yourself, what tools and resources will you need to achieve these goals? So just going back to the 2 examples that I gave you, the person who has the idea but hasn't yet got started, doesn't know where to start with building a business. Maybe the tool or the resource you need is a business coach. Maybe you need a program to start, a program that's going to help steer you in the right direction and give you some guidance for what the next steps realistically look like for you. Another tool that you may need to get started, depending on your platform, could be a piece of equipment for filming. For example, if you want to get started on YouTube, maybe you need a camera. Maybe you don't even need a camera. You can just use your phone. Maybe you want to get some nice audio, so you can buy a microphone. That could be a tool that you potentially need in order to achieve these goals. Let's move on to the second example. So this is for the influencer that is already creating a lot of content but wants to transition into a business owner so that they can make some money and become profitable within their their content creation business. So a tool that you could also need is also a business coach, so you've got that guidance and that support and that mentorship to the next stage. Another tool you could possibly need is a payment processor. So you're going to need a way for people to actually pay you. So you might have to invest in a payment processor. You may get a website developed, just something that helps people know that you actually have something to offer. So just think about the different tools and resources that you could potentially need to get started. And then once you've got them together, you can start coming up with a plan of how you're actually going to make this happen. And I remember when I was first starting my journey, I had such big ideas for what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a coach. I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to coach in when I got started, but I just knew that I wanted to be a coach of some sort. But I kept this goal in my head. I kept this dream in my head. I didn't put anything down on paper. And it wasn't until I really started to mark this down on paper, write out some goals, write out all the tools and the resources that I needed, then it became a lot easier. Because if you just allow these thoughts to spiral in your head over and over again without taking action, it's going to feel overwhelming. When all you need to do is reverse engineer that big goal. So write down what the goals are, write down the resources that you're going to need, and then the next step is just figuring out how are you going to actually achieve that? How are you going to accomplish this goal of building your business? Okay. So next, I want us to get into a bit of mindset here, because I'm someone who fully believes that strategy is not the only piece to the puzzle when it comes to building a business, a profitable business, and a sustainable business as well. Because, yes, I could give you the strategy. You could find the strategy online. You could copy it to a T. Everything that I tell you, you can go out there and copy. But if you do not truly believe it, you do not resonate with that, then you're not going to be successful. It's going to feel like an uphill battle. Take it from me, there was plenty of times when I started my coaching business where I had so much strategy. I was investing in coaches and mentors. And although I was seeing a bit of success here and there, because I wasn't fully in that mindset, I didn't step into that visionary 100%. It was very difficult for me. I had a lot of limiting beliefs come up for why I couldn't be successful. So, what I want you to think about is what has stopped you from already building this business, this brand? If you haven't yet got started, what is the thing that is stopping you? What are the limiting beliefs coming up? And I want you to use the chat box as well. Let me know. This is going to be an interactive conversation. So if you've got any questions or anything, definitely write them down in the chat box. But my question for you is, what has stopped you from building a business? I'm very interested to hear this. So definitely let me know in the chat while I take a sip. And don't be shy, because I know you're all here for a reason. There's a reason you found this video, because you wanted to build a profitable business as a content creator or as an influencer. So let's chat about it. Let's see what some of the blocks for you are, and let's work through them together. Okay. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to write some things down for why you haven't yet started your business. But I will move on to the next question. The next question is, how are you going to feel when you finally achieve this goal? So when you build this successful business, how are you going to feel at that point? And for me, it's really important to get into the feels of what success means to you, get into the vibe of what that means to you, because when you get into that vibe, it's so much easier for you to show up that way, to show up with the right energy, to show up with the passion, with the commitment, because you've already felt what that success is going to feel like for you. And especially if you're just getting started and everything is seeming a bit overwhelming, you don't really know where to start, you don't have an audience. If you can tap into what being successful is going to feel like, you're going to feel inspired. You will feel inspired. And building a business and entrepreneurship is all about commitment, discipline, and inspiration as well. Feeling inspired, because motivation comes and goes. You're not always going to feel motivated. But if you can find that core of inspiration, something that's going to light you up, fill you with confidence, then it's going to be so much easier for you to show up. Amanda's here. Welcome, Amanda. So happy you have made this live. So Amanda says, showing up on the grid, putting my voice and face out there gives me anxieties versus stories which disappear. Okay, I get that. So maybe for you, that's something you just have to work through on why it is that you have resistance to showing up on the grid, but you're happy to show up on stories which disappear. So, what is it about your post being permanent that makes you feel uneasy, and how can you work through that? Because this is just a limiting belief. Somewhere you've got a limiting belief that is blocking you from posting on the feed. So, you have to work through exactly what that is. And then once you get to the root of that, you can then start to make the changes. But yeah, from reading that, it seems like you preferred the stories because they disappear and you don't, it's kind of like you get to hide yourself after a certain point. So after the 24 hours and the story disappears, you can then hide away. But if it's on your feed, it's more permanent. So for you, you have to work through why it is that a permanent post makes you feel uneasy and why it is you want to hide. Because I know you've got so many gifts, Amanda. We have had a call and I know that you've got so much to offer. You're so talented and you've also got your services out there as well now. So why is it that you still want to hide? What's deeper in there for you? And this is what we go through within my coaching program as well. When I'm coaching my clients, I really want to get to the root cause of these mindset issues because like I say, if I just give you the strategy, then it's pointless. I could say to Amanda, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just follow this strategy and post this and do that and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it." I could say that, but how helpful is that? It's not helpful at all. And that's what a lot of business courses do nowadays. They give you all the strategy. A lot of it is just regurgitated content from the internet. Nobody's really embodying what they're saying, which is why there's a lot of resistance towards showing up. But when you know that you are the full embodiment of what you are teaching, you know you're teaching from your experience, nobody can take that away from you. And it's just for you to do that mindset work, have the right support and guidance to guide you through that, to ask you the powerful leading questions so you can get to the root cause and so you can move forward more freely. So yeah, hope that helped with that one. So let's move on. Oh, this is a good one actually. So I'm still using the workbook that you will also get if you do join the program. But the next question that is here, which is so powerful, and I just think that you should be constantly journaling on this question anyway. And it's, who do you need to become to achieve your goals? So the first question I asked was, what has stopped you from achieving the goals already? So limiting beliefs, mindset, being afraid to show up, being inconsistent, not knowing where to start. These are all the beliefs that have stopped you from showing up. I then asked you, how are you going to feel when you finally achieve these goals? So this is tapping into your next level, stepping into that next higher version of yourself and asking yourself, when I am successful, when I am confident, when I am showing up consistently, how am I going to feel? You're going to feel accomplished, excited. You're going to feel fulfilled, impactful. So ask yourself, how can you become that today? Who do you need to become that? And a few examples that I've written down here is, maybe you're someone who needs to become organized. If you are wanting to be more consistent with your brand and building your business, but you know that you tend to post content sporadically, all it could take is a bit of organization by you piecing together a strategy that is follow that you can follow. I don't know if followable's a word. But what you need to do is piece together a strategy that's easy for you to follow and maintain. It suits your personality and your lifestyle. And that little bit of organization can really help you with that consistency. Another example is, maybe you need to become a quick decision maker. Maybe you've had so many ideas running through your mind constantly, different business ideas, different brands, and that's the reason why you just haven't moved forward, because you don't know where to start. So maybe for you, the person you need to become in order to achieve your goals is a quick decision maker, someone who just thinks, you know what, this is what we're doing, this is going ahead, and if it doesn't work, fine, we can change it, make that decision again. this could be the person that you need to become a quick decision maker. And I know it was the case for me. And a lot of these skills, they don't come easily. So we have to train ourselves into them. For me, I'd be someone who would ponder on different decisions, and I'd want to think through everything. I'm very analytical. I'm very logical as well. So I want to analyze everything and then think about things logically. And that was just the person I am. But I am now training myself to become somebody who is quicker with decisions, who follows my intuition, follows my heart a lot more, and does things that feel good for me. Because often when you overanalyze things, it no longer feels good because you're too busy focused on what the outcome could be. You're not thinking about the journey itself. So Be Ready says, don't feel good enough to teach. That's something that is stopping me. So get deeper with that. Why is it that you don't feel good enough to teach? What is it that's blocking you from speaking up and teaching? Is it that you don't believe what you have to say is valuable? Is it that you don't feel like you're experienced enough? You don't feel like you can talk, you speak well enough? What is it? What's that specific thing that comes up for you when you say, I don't feel good enough to teach? Because that is so generic. That could mean anything. So the more specific you can get with that, the easier it will become for you to dismantle that and for you to break through with confidence. Something that I used to say a lot is I didn't feel like I was good on video, or I used to hate my videos. So I've been on YouTube for the past 6 years now, and even to this day, sometimes I cringe at my videos. Just being honest. Not so much now, but my older videos, I could not watch them back at all. And I used to cringe at my videos, and I used to always say I hate myself on video. Until I asked myself, okay, why do I not like myself on video? What exactly is it about the videos that I don't like? And when I got to the root cause, it was easier for me to work through exactly what it was that I didn't like. And for me, funnily enough, it was actually the fact that I used to stumble on my words quite a lot. And I still do it now, sometimes, not as often, but there's definitely times where I still stumble on my words. But I just had to work through that. I just had to accept the fact that this is me. This is my personality. This is who I am. This is how I'm going to be showing up. And it's authentic. And I also had to give myself the permission to learn, evolve, and grow, because no one's going to be an expert from day one. So we can't judge ourselves like that. We have to give ourselves that grace to grow. And for me, my limiting belief was stumbling over my words. I just knew that every single video I create is going to give me that practice I need in order to become a better speaker. So shying away from creating content isn't going to serve me in any way, because I'll just be in the same position. I won't be I'd still be stumbling over my words. I wouldn't have had that practice. So for you, B, and I'm not sure what your actual name is, but I'll just call you B. So for you saying that you don't feel good enough to teach, figure out why exactly it is that you don't feel good enough to teach, and then how can you practice that? Because everything can be learned, everything can be improved if you are willing to do that. And if you're willing to give yourself the space to evolve, and know that nobody expects you to be perfect from day one as well. I think that's definitely a limiting belief that a lot of new business owners or content creators have, is that they have to be perfect straight away. It's not the case. No one expects you to be perfect. People just want you to show up and be authentic. And just think about your own consumption habits and patterns as well. So when I watch content, when I'm getting ready to invest in a program, or when I'm looking for content for my business, I'm also looking at people who create real content like this, where it's just going live, no edits, no stumbling over words, just being real. That's the content that resonates with me. So why would I feel like anyone else is going to judge me? If I'm happy to watch videos that are imperfect, why would I feel like I have to show up perfect? And it's the same for you. We have to be kinder to ourselves. We have to give ourselves that grace to grow and evolve, but just know that you can absolutely build a profitable business right now with the skills you currently have, with the personality you currently have. Everything you have is more than enough. And there's people out there who are going to be dying to work with you, dying to hear from you, and are going to love everything that you have to say. So yeah, that is phase one, all about becoming the visionary of your brand and really just stepping into the mindset of a business owner. Hey Sam, welcome to the live. So we're going to move on to the next phase now, which is going to be all about uncovering your brand story. So as a content creator, we spend all day every day creating content, whether it be for the gram, for YouTube. We create content, but how much of that content is actually sharing your story? That's what you want to be asking yourself. And especially if you are wanting to transition into a business owner, then especially a service-based business owner. So if you're wanting to get into coaching, consulting, offering courses, people are going to be attracted to you because of your unique story, because of your message, and because of your personality as well. So now that you've identified what your brand goals are, it's now time for you to uncover your story. So the first question that I have for you, and again, you can either write this down or you can just go through it as I'm speaking, whatever feels best for you. But the first question is going to be, what are the key life events that have shaped you to become the person that you are today? And this is going to be really important when you are building a personal brand. Your story is going to be so key. And you may see this when it comes to business owners or motivational speakers, personal brands. The people who have the solid brands, it's because they have a solid story. And it's that story that magnetizes the clients, the audience, the opportunities. All of that comes through brand story. So it's important for you as a business owner to get clear on what your story is. Even before you go out there and offer products and services, you can at least start to get an understanding of what your story is and start factoring that into your content. If you have been building your brand for some time and you feel like you don't really have that connection with your audience still and there's something missing, this could be what's missing, because there's no story, there's nothing for people to latch onto, there's nothing for people to resonate with. So just think to yourself, what are the 3 key life events that have shaped you to become the person that you are today? And when you thought of those 3 life events, and again, these can be either positive, negative, even though there's no such thing as positive or negative, everything is all an experience at the end of the day. But I don't just want you to be thinking of the negative things that have happened. Also think of the positive things in life that have happened and how they've shaped you to become the content creator, the influencer, and the business owner that you are today. And then once you've done that, next ask yourself, how have these life events influenced you wanting to start this business? And I keep saying start this business, but if you've already been in business for some time and you just really wanted to take it to that next level, you wanted to bring more income and you wanted to create more impact, then this is equally important. And you may not have done this exercise before. So ask yourself, how did these life events influence your business and you wanting to move forward? So, just to give you an example of me, some of the key life events that shaped me to become the person that I am today is my childhood. So, from my teenage years, I was pretty independent. I've shared this quite a lot. And I didn't have the best relationship with my parents, with my family. So, I was very independent. And from that independence, it caused me to mature quicker than my peers. It caused me to have a completely different experience with life. And that really shaped me to become the person I am today. And the reason that's influenced my business is because I'm now helping other women, other females, males, whoever. I'm just now helping other people who may have had a similar upbringing to me realize that you can change your reality and there's more to life and you can still have success and freedom and you can still build a lifestyle that is on your terms. I think I just crashed a bit there. But yeah, so that is one of the life events that really influenced why I decided to start my business. Another life event that shaped the person I am today is attending a coaching seminar. So I attended my first coaching seminar, I believe it was 2017 or maybe 2018. And it was an in-person seminar. It was my first experience of ever going to any sort of seminar like this. And it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. The level of content, the value, the exercises, the whole experience was absolutely amazing. And from that point forward, that's when I fell in love with coaching. So that's how that experience influenced the business I have today. And those experiences are going to resonate with somebody else. There's someone out there who has a similar upbringing to me and they relate to me for that. So they are going to choose me to work with me. Or maybe they've also been to a coaching seminar and it was really powerful for them. And that's the way that we can connect. So outside of your actual business, you want to be finding these connections, these stories that are going to connect you with other people. Another story I like to share a lot is this thing. So this is my sound bowl, which I like to use. I don't use it as often as I should be nowadays, but I used to use this religiously all the time. I absolutely love sound healing and sound meditations. And I used to share this on my story a lot on Instagram. And I had so many people messaging me from me just sharing, saying, "Oh my God, I love sound healing too." And we just talk about sound healing and we just build a beautiful relationship from there. And then, oh, they actually need a business coach. Who are they going to go to? Obviously, me, because we've built a connection. So all of these stories that you start to filter into your brand, they're what is going to build those solid connections. So when you do transition into a business owner, when you do offer services, you're going to be the first person in mind. Because nowadays, let's be honest, a lot of the business industries are saturated, you could say. There's a lot going on, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of people starting businesses, which is amazing because everyone is going to find their own clients, everyone's going to attract the right people to them, but you just want to make sure that you're setting yourself apart by having these different stories, by having these transformations that you're sharing through your brand. Okay, hope that is making sense. Let me know in the chat if you do have any questions about why did my mind just go blank? Brand stories. Let me know if you've got any questions about that, and then we are going to move on to the next part. And I think you're going to be excited about this part because this is where the strategy comes in. This is where everyone's like, yes, just give me the strategy. Tell me what to post. Tell me where to post, and everything else is good. But it's not the case. I have learned through my own journey of building a business, I've learned through my clients that you need all pieces of this puzzle in order to be successful, in order to be fulfilled with the business that you're building. It has to all work together. So the next phase is going to be about initiating your influence. So this is going to be choosing the platforms that you are going to show up consistently in. And what you want to first do is choose your main content platform. So this is going to be a platform that you can post long form content, and it's also going to be search engine optimized. So first, let's get into the long form content. So what that actually means is content that is in a longer form. I guess is very self-explanatory. So this content that I'm doing today on YouTube, this is a longer form piece of content. And the reason why this content is so important is because it gives your audience an opportunity to build a relationship with you a lot quicker because you go in more in depth. And then the second part I mentioned is when you build in this main content platform, it's also going to be search engine optimized. So that means that you are going to be expanding your brand to people who may not have known you before, but they've done a search on Google or they've typed something in on YouTube and you've come up. So it's really important for you to have a main content platform that is going to be search engine optimized so you can expand your brand and so you can allow your brand to work for you. And I actually just was live on Instagram before this conversation talking about evergreen marketing. And that's exactly what evergreen marketing is. So evergreen content is content that stands the test of time. It doesn't expire. You can use it all year round, all seasons round, and it will always be relevant. And then content evergreen marketing is when you're using platforms which support this type of content. So it's going to be platforms like YouTube, a podcast, a blog, email list, PR. These are all going to be rich content because it's content that works for you. You only have to do it once and it continues to work for you. It continues to build your brand. It continues to bring you opportunities. So me personally, of course, I love YouTube. That's where I am right now. And I have personally been on YouTube for the past 6 years. I've been offering business content on YouTube for the past 2 years. And still to this day, I get people watching my old videos and inquiring to work with me, inquiring about my coaching program, purchasing my digital products. All of that comes from YouTube, from videos that I've created literally 2 years ago. They are still working for me. They're still building my audience on autopilot. I'm not having to do anything. So the smart way for you to be building your brand and initiating your influence is by first having a main content platform. So something that like YouTube, a podcast, an email list, having that set up. And then you will have your secondary platform. So this is going to be your community building platform. So this will be your Instagram, Twitter account, TikTok, Facebook, whatever platform you decide to use. It's important to have two of these working simultaneously. That's the way that you're really going to build that brand sustainability and that longevity for your brand. And personally, it's just a way that it's just I prefer this way because you won't burn out. Well, you could potentially still burn out, but it just allows you that ease and that space when you know that you've got a main content platform that is going to be building your brand in the background, and all you have to focus on your secondary platform is building those connections with your community. So there's less pressure on both parts. However, you are doubling your exposure, doubling your reach, and just allowing more possibilities and attracting the right clients as well. So Ashley says, thanks for breaking this down. So helpful. No problem. I'm glad you're finding this helpful. And like I say, I'm literally using one of the workbooks that I teach within my program, the Businessfluencer Program. I will be explaining more about that towards the end of this live, which I'm excited to share with you. But this is a whole masterclass that I'm giving you right now. And this is exactly the process I go through with all of my clients within the course. So now you've got your platform. So by this point, you should have between 1 to 2 platforms. You should definitely have your main content platform, and then maybe you've got a secondary platform. It is good if you can have both. So just have that combination of the two. And the next thing that you want to do is ask yourself, what are your 3 brand pillars going to be? So you may have come across this term brand pillars before. It basically just means brand topics. So it's going to be, what are the 3 core topics that you are going to consistently speak about? And this is not to say that you can only speak about these topics in your brand, because of course we are also multifaceted. We have so many interests, so many things that we want to talk about, especially as a lifestyle content creator. You're going to want to introduce your audience to different things, which is absolutely fine. But you just want to ensure that you've got the 3 core topics that your audience know that they can come to you for. So you're going to be the first person in mind when they're thinking, oh, I want to start a business. Who am I going to go to? Montelle. I want to build my brand. Who am I going to go to? Montelle. For you, it could be something different. But just think about, what are those core topics? How are they aligning with the business that you're going to be building? My tea has gone cold. It's a good job it's still nice cold. But yeah, so once you have those core topics, this is what it will allow your messaging to stay consistent. So when you're showing up week in and week out, as long as you know that you're covering at least one topic from your brand pillar that you've set out, then you know that you are strengthening your brand. You know that you are strengthening your authority because you're staying consistent. And yes, within that, you can discuss different things, but just try have 3 core topics that you're going to stick to. Okay, cool. So let's move on. And I know I'm giving you this super quick. I'm pretty much taking my program which I walk my clients through, and I'm just giving it all to you in a quick masterclass. So I know that I'm going through this very quickly. There's a lot to go through, but I just want to give you an overview of what is possible for you if you are wanting to build a profitable business and all of the steps that are going to be included. Because I know sometimes it's no, I don't feel like people really talk about this in depth, and people are like, yes, I can start a business, you can do this and that, but you want to know what the actual steps are. You want to know what it's going to take to build a business. So by this video today, it's just going to give you that outline. So then the next thing that we look at, this is phase 4. And this is all about leveraging your knowledge for profit. So remember at the start of this live, I was saying that the skills, the knowledge, the experience that you already have is more than enough to get started. Because as a personal brand, as an influencer, you are sharing from your experience. You are building a business, a lifestyle business, a service-based business based on your current experience, based on the knowledge that you already possess. So this is the part where a lot of people can overthink this process and overthink what content, what product should they create, how should they show up, and you really just want to make it as simple as possible. Take it from me. When I first started my business, the first thing that I launched was a course, and me being a content creator, I felt like, yes, I know exactly what people want. I'm just going to put this course together. I'm going to film everything, and then people are just going to love it and buy it. Wasn't the case, was not the case. I did a bit of market research to begin with, but I didn't really go in depth with it. And I also wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time creating the full course before knowing that people even wanted it. We don't do that anymore. That's not what I recommend doing. So through my program, the Bizfluencer program, what we'll be doing is getting you out there so you can get that market research in and you can create an outline of the offer that you are going to launch. So within the program, we're going to look at different business models and different methods that you can go down, because there's just so many. And I will be doing a live that is going to be specific to the different type of business models that you can do as a creator. But some of the key ones are services. So you could offer a program, a coaching program, consulting. You can start a membership. You can work with brands. You can do a course, a digital product. There's so many possibilities. So this is why I can't really get into it in too much detail in this video. But just know that the next phase for you is going to be outlining what you could potentially offer. And as soon as you've got an outline, before you do anything else, before you start creating content or creating products, you want to test that. You want to go out there and ask people for their feedback. Ask people, is this a product that you want? Is this something you'd buy? How much would you pay for it? What's the maximum that you'd pay for a product like this? By getting that solid research from your audience, from the market, you can then go back and review it. And it just takes out so many steps, and it just saves a lot of time. So just have a think about what you would offer. That's all we can do at this stage, because of course there's so many different things that we could discuss, so many different business models. So if you are to join the program, then we would go into this in a lot more depth within the program and would find the best model for you, and then we'd look at outlining your framework from there. But for the purpose of this training, just think about a rough outline of what that would be. And then the next stage, and this is going to be the last stage that I'm sharing with you today when it comes to building a profitable business and brand, it's going to be about how are you going to take it to that next level? How are you going to build that brand exposure? And you're going to do that through getting more exposure. So within this stage, I want you to start looking at different brands that you could potentially collaborate with. And I don't mean brands as in product-based brands. I also mean service-based brands, podcasts, different influencers, content creators. This is how you're really going to expand and get more eyeballs onto your brand and business. It's by collaborating. So when I started my business, and even till this day, I did a lot of collaborating. I was doing a lot of Instagram lives. I did some YouTube collaborations. And that's what really helped me to spread my message further than my current audience and cross-pollinate my audience with other creators as well. So maybe just make a list of maybe 10 podcasts that you could potentially feature on and share and have a conversation on, or maybe it's going to be YouTube creators that you could potentially collaborate with. That's going to be the next step. And then just have a think about what kind of topics you could potentially teach on their platform. So that is it for this quick fire workshop, giving you an overview of some of the steps that are included when it comes to building your brand, building a business as a content creator, as an influencer, and as a personal brand. And as I mentioned, this I go into a lot more detail in on this topic, within the Bizfluencer program. So I am currently enrolling in the program for the November enrollment. It's currently on an early bird pricing. And yeah, so if you are interested in the Bizfluencer program, as I mentioned at the start, it is going to be a 6-month mentorship program for content creators and business owners who are wanting to transition into business owners. So this is going to be the perfect space for you if you are just getting started out and maybe you've got a few ideas, but you just are lacking that direction and the clarity on how to actually take this forward. Or maybe you've been a content creator or an influencer for some time. So you've built up your community, you've built up that engagement, but now you want to become profitable. Now you want to live life on your own terms. You want to have more creative freedom, more financial stability, and you just want to be a business. You want to build a business. This could be the next best step for you. So within the program, we'll be going into depth into things like how to create a business plan, how to uncover your brand story, how to lead with content, how to choose a platform that really suits you and your personality, and how to show up as a leader on these platforms as well. We'll also be looking at how you're going to create your signature offer, whether that be a program, a course, a digital product. And we'll also be looking at the other parts of being an influencer. So how you're going to work with brands, how to pitch yourself, for PR, podcast. This program is pretty much taking all of my experience for the past 6 years of being a content creator and then transitioning to a business owner and how I've basically navigated that journey to where I currently am. So, if you are someone who is ready to unlock your full potential as a content creator and transition into a business owner, if you're someone who is ready to have that laser focus and ready to show up as a leader, then this is definitely the program for you. Within the program, we're going to be having weekly coaching calls. So every single week, we'll have a chance to meet. And as I mentioned, it's not all about strategy. So we are going to be looking into the mindset element as well of how you can show up with a leader, how you can really build real influence. And yeah, something else that's recently I've been personally working on, as I mentioned, is just really leading with intuition and following the heart at all times. So that is something I will also be teaching how to do in the program as well. So this is not just another business program that's going to throw loads of strategy at you and just expect you to just run with it and be successful, because I know it's not the case. I know it's going to take more than that. So I really want you to leave this program feeling like a leader, feeling empowered to make your own decisions, to show up powerfully, and to build a business that really is aligned with who you are. So if that sounds like a program that you are ready to invest in, then definitely head down to the description box. Like I say, we are currently enrolling for the November enrollment. If you are watching this on the replay, then still check the description, and you never know, I could be enrolling again at some time closer to the time that you are watching. But yeah, definitely reach out. If you do have any questions, my DMs are always open, or you can drop me an email at coach@montelleb.com. That's also in my description as well. But yeah, hopefully I see you inside. Looking forward to it. And you'll probably see me on live sometime very soon. That's it for this one. Bye.